Hey YouTube, it is Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com coming at you. It hadn't been a while that we finally got another product in to do a take it apart video on. And so this time DB Technologies has sent us the brand new BH-12. This was introduced at the NAMM show in January, and we saw it and heard it in their demo room at the NAMM show, and they have been so kind to shoot us out one of the BH-12s. And we're going to pull this thing out of the box and get into it, look at the specs on it, and kind of talk about where this fits in the overall product line and the market for DB Technologies. And then do the take it apart video on the thing, and then also take a look at frequency response on the cabinet in Smart of what it is published versus what the actual is, and just kind of an overall on what our thoughts are as far as the tonality and the construction of the box and speaker system for the new DB Technologies BH-12. So we've got the BH out of the box, and it's a nice looking little speaker. It's got wedge cuts on both sides. Areas that you can carry here with a handle on top. They've really done a nice job with the design on it. It is a plastic cabinet, but we'll get into that and take a look at the insides here on that thing shortly. But let's go over the specs. So this is the spec sheet out of the box. It's a two-way speaker. Usable frequency response is at minus 10 dB is 55 to 20,000. The 55 down 10 dB is quite a bit, but we'll talk about that. Frequency response at minus 6 dB is 61. So really, if you're looking at no minus or anything, this probably is more going to fall in around the 75 to 80 range as far as low frequency response, but we will see that when we get it hooked up on the Smart system. Max SPL out of this box at 1 meter is rated at 126 dB, so that's pretty impressive. It has a 1-inch exit high frequency compression driver with a 1-inch voice coil. The low frequency driver in this box is a 12-inch with a 2-inch voice coil. The crossover point is at 2100 cycles, and it's got a 24 dB per octave slope on it. The horizontal dispersion, it's an asymmetrical horn, 85 up, 120 down, and then vertical 85 up, 120 down. Vertical dispersion is 85 degrees plus 25 minus 60 degrees down. Amplifier technology, they're listing as a custom-made Class D. So it's a little bit different amplifier than DB Technologies normally puts into their speakers, and we'll get into that and show you. On the 12-inch model that we're here talking about today, it is 200 watts RMS, probably broken up with 150 to the low frequency driver, 50 to the top with severe limiting on it. Operating voltage is factory set, so you're either going to get a 220 volt speaker or you're going to get a 120 volt speaker. The processor user interface, the controller is a A to D DDA converter, 24 to 56 bit, 48 kilohertz, so that's nice. The limiter is peak and thermal and RMS. Controls on the back of it, you've got volume and then audio input sensitivity, and there are some DSP presets so that you can do a flat and a boost for the low end at kind of a loudness at the lower volume ends. Does have an IEC connector with a fuse on it for power. Signal input is a combo XLR with a can be selectable or mic line, and it's got a 1/4 inch, and we'll flip the thing around here and show you that. Signal out is a balanced link XLR, not a crossover or anything like that. It is polypropylene plastic, full metal grill, which looks really nice. I mean, I gotta hand it to them. I mean, if you look at this, what they've done, it just is a good looking speaker that you don't have the horn open or anything like some of the competing models are. It does have a pole mount socket, handles, 2 on the sides, 1 on the top. Size-wise, it's about 2 feet tall by about 14 inches in width and about a little over 12 inches deep, and it weighs in at almost 31 pounds total weight. So power draw on it, as with a lot of these digital amplifiers and the technology, third power, at third of full power maximum conditions, you're going to be drawing about 1.8 amps. So you can put quite a few of these puppies on a 15 or a 20 amp circuit. So that's the specs. So what we're going to do now is just kind of do an overview, just kind of spin this thing around and take a look at it. What they've done is on the sides here, they've got some carry handles that if you're going to, put it down with a wedge cut, you can grab it there with a handle and lay it down. There is a handle up here at the top, so you can see that right there at the top. And then we've got the amplifier section and everything here. We've got the power here, and then at the top up here we've got, get my fingers here on the right thing, the input connector with a link. We've got the input sensitivity and the DSP button here on it. These do incorporate a fan on them for cooling. So it is not a full heatsink type speaker, as we've seen with some of the other DB Technology products. But where this is in the market and the speakers that it is designed to compete with, that's not out of the norm. Some of the other models that we have seen and done reviews on also incorporate fans in them to keep them cool. With fan technology these days, they'll last a while. So, but nice looking speaker, vent holes and everything on it in the amplifier for the fan to get cooling through. In the bottom down here, there is a pole socket, as you can see right there, and nothing in there to lock it in as far as a screw or anything on it, but it'll probably end up sitting up on a pole fairly nicely. Like I said, weight-wise, it is pretty light. So I got to hand it to him on that, if you're, a DJ or doing weddings or something like that, or just need a light stage monitor with a wedge cut on it, as you can kind of see here, that we've got it on both sides, so that you can use it as a wedge. Really makes a nice, neat little package. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and open up the speaker. We'll go ahead and pull the grill off first, and then what we'll do is pull the amplifier and take a look and see what the amplifier and the fan assembly and everything is like, and see what is on the inside of this for the new DB Technologies BH-12. So we got the unit open, and as with all of the DB Technologies products now, and the Opera that we just did a video on recently as well. Foam line grill, very nice for a speaker at this price point. It's kind of nice because it hides all the guts, so that if you're doing anything where a lot of light is shining into it, weddings, things like that, that they're using flash photography, it's going to help minimize them seeing the inside of the guts of the speaker. So, and the gauge of the grill is really pretty good. Feels like it's probably 18 gauge metal. So with that, you can see what the horn is all about, and how the horn is flared so that as it comes down, you get a wider dispersion as the audio comes in out of the horn here, and a little bit less on the top as everything comes out. So it ends up giving you kind of a downward pattern on everything. And then the 12-inch driver. Again, standard driver paper surround on it, and not much to it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull all the screws out that hold this front assembly on and this 12-inch driver here, and open this up and take a look at it and see what the high-frequency driver looks like, and then also what the low-frequency driver looks like on the DB Technologies BH-12. So we've got it open, and took all the screws out. Everything came out really quite well. There's probably 12 or 14 screws holding the face into the cabinet, which we'll show you in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and turn this around so you can see what the flare looks like here, and then also the low frequency driver. So on the flare, we've got a small high frequency driver on the back. It looks like it possibly has a aluminum dome on it. I don't think it's Mylar, but with the size of it and the crossover point, that's about kind of right, because with it crossed over at 2100, doesn't need much of a high frequency driver on it, and letting the low frequency driver take everything with that 12-inch driver, everything up to about that 2100 point on the speaker. So with the low frequency 12-inch driver, again, it's a stamp basket, ceramic magnet. This whole assembly with the front and everything maybe weighs in at about 8 pounds. The driver is all held in into the front assembly with screws all the way around on it, as you can see here. And one of the things that they've done that's kind of notable is that on the front piece here, there is a piece of rubberized dampening material to hold the grill in place to keep it from vibrating, which is a nice added feature that they have put on that just to help with that should that ever happen with the low frequency energy coming out of the speaker. So both the drivers are stamped in tagged DB Technologies. One of the things I want to mention with this is that this particular speaker was designed and developed in Italy. This particular series, the Beehive series, is made in China, and that is how they've been able to bring it to you at the price point that it is, with the specs that they've incorporated into it. So they've done a really good job with that, and to give us all some really good tools to work with in this particular series, to be able to keep pricing down and also produce a good product, as DB Technologies is known for. So good solid, injection molding. It's got some good bracing on the inside, quality. Let's go ahead and change pieces here, and I'll put this down. And we'll grab the back assembly here. And this is really kind of where all the weight of the speaker is with the amplifier and this back assembly. But the back assembly, as you can see, is just a plastic housing. They've done a lot with the way that they have molded this to get some internal bracing to it and giving it some rigidity, which you can kind of press on the sides on this thing. And once that the front is on, really makes a fairly nice rigid cabinet. And then just the leads for the high frequency driver and the low frequency driver coming in out of the amplifier. So what we're going to do now is pull the amp out, take a look at that, and see what that little 200 watt RMS amplifier is all about. So the amplifier came out, really easy to do, Phillips type screws on the thing. Just has a multi-pin type Molex type connector on it that undoes the amplifier from the speaker, so you can pull it out for field servicing or whatever. We're going to set this thing aside right now and take a peek at the amplifier. So this is the, pull this back a little bit so we can see it. So this is the amplifier. Again, we'll just take a look at, we've got the input, the through connector, we have the sensitivity control, we have the DSP button for a little bit of a boost, and then we have the mic line input sensitivity switch here, and then power connector with a fuse down in here, on and off switch, and then the fan assembly here. Flip over to the other side though, and this whole amplifier assembly is probably 4 pounds. You really can't see a lot on it, but with the fan, they've got a nice good size heatsink on it. A lot of surface mount technology. You can see what they've done with the power supply. There is another internal fuse deep inside there. And I can't wait to fire this thing back up and put some noise on it and kind of listen to it and see what this little puppy is all about. One of the things that they've done with it though is that they've given you some indicators on it so that you know that you've got ready, you've got signal coming into it, and then they've got the little red LED that you know when you've hit your limiter and you're asking too much out of your speaker. When that little puppy comes on, that you may need 2 instead of 1. But with that, they've done a good job. It's all surface mount technology on this, and then heat sink to a nice large piece of aluminum, similar to what they've done with some of their other amplifiers, and just a nice, neat little package. So onboard DSP, a lot of ICs here on this DSP section right here that goes into the amplifier. We're going to fire the thing up too and see what kind of fan noise that it generates. Hopefully not too much, but that is the DB Technologies BH-12. We're going to go ahead and get this thing back together and run some noise through it and take a listen to it and see what this is all about. So we got it back together and just playing some audio out of it. Sounds pretty nice. You know, for a two-way speaker that is with a crossover point of 2100. I think is what the spec said. Yes, 2100. So what we're going to do now is take a look at it and run some noise through it with our Smart on the PC and see what it looks like on the injected signal and compares that to the output of the speaker itself. But very nice speaker. This particular model, let me look here, maps out for $299, has an MSRP of $370. So the price point that this thing is at, street price is going to probably be less than that for a decent quality 12-inch speaker. In this particular line, they do have an 8, they have a 10, the 12, and then they also have a 15. But map price in US dollars as of today, which is April of 2017, the 8-inch maps out for $199, the 10-inch is $249, the 12 is $299, and the 15 is $349. So you're getting something that is quite really good quality from DB Technologies, with the caveat that it is designed in Italy, made in China, but the thing sounds great. I'm just not sure that there's anything out there as far as price point that this is at, and kind of where the market that this is directed at, with entry level or weekend DJs, corporate stuff, speaker on a stick. The 8-inch or the 10-inch models of this B-Hype would be wonderful. Be able to plug a mic into it because it's got the switch on the back, and all of a sudden you've got a little portable PA speaker on a stick. Add a wireless mic into it, and you can end up putting this into breakout rooms and provide some really decent, good-looking audio with the grill and everything into corporate events and things like that. Stage wedge, a fairly inexpensive, good quality stage wedge as well, with the cuts on it to be able to put it up into a monitor mode as well. So we're going to go ahead and kill the music on this thing and get the Smart fired up and take a look at the frequency response. Okay, so we've got the Smart stuff set up, and as you can see, as I'm talking, you can see things flipping through here on the screen. I've got the microphone positioned that you can kind of see here, where here, it's out here somewhere, but it's out of the picture. So probably 30 inches away from the speaker on axis, not access, but you know what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is fire up the pink noise and then turn the generator on so we can see what that looks like as well. And so as you can see, we've got the generator in the background with the pink trace, and what the speaker is doing is it is running the blue trace. So you can see that down low we do have low frequency energy coming out of the generator, but down in this area here at 63 up to maybe 80 is where it starts falling off as far as low frequency is concerned. And then we have a little bit of a bump up here in maybe the 100 to about almost 500 range. And then we come back fairly flat and a little bit of a bump up in about the 10K range. But other than that, the speaker looks fairly decent, fairly flat, fairly level. Turn up the noise here a little bit more so we can see how that's looking. I'm going to go ahead and engage the low frequency boost so we can see what that looks like on the plot as well. So now it's in boost mode. The volume on this is set straight up at the noon position, so about halfway. And I'll get out of the camera here, and we'll go ahead and turn that back up. So we're back up a little bit, and yeah, picked up a little bit in the low end, but not a ton. But you can hear it, tonality. I could hear it in playing back music that in playback mode, if you are using it for background music or something, it ends up giving a little bit of low frequency boost, kind of like loudness used to do on a stereo, and provides some additional low end. I wouldn't running the thing at volumes and stuff, and let a subwoofer do that. We recommend that if you're going to be doing this for music and things like that, unless it's just playback, we always recommend a subwoofer to go with a system, whether it's a small little 8-inch or a 12-inch or whatever, and let the subwoofer really do the duty that it was designed to do and not kill the poor little speaker, whether it's a 12 or a 15 or whatever, trying to get low frequency sub-type harmonics out of it that it was just never designed to do. So we're going to go ahead and shut this off. So there you have it, DB Technologies B-Hype BH-12. You have any questions, send us an email or in comments or whatever, and we will respond on it. If you have any other questions on any of the DB Technologies products, you can shoot us an email, get a hold of us on the website, Facebook, here on YouTube. We are always open to answering and providing pricing. We are dealers for about 50 different pro audio lines, as I have said in the past. We will ship anywhere in the USA, and in some instances work with you for points beyond. But give us a buzz or shoot us an email. Our telephone number here in the US is area code 209. We are in Northern California. 209-832-8023. Look us up on the web at www.trinityprosound.com, and also on Facebook, and then you found us on YouTube. So appreciate it. Thank you for watching. If you've subscribed to us, thank you for doing that. Means a lot to us. Thank you for watching the videos, and we will be back soon with another fantastic Take It Apart video from Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com. Thanks for watching.